Now, is that the new season of The Walking Dead or what? Whole crowd is on zombie mode, man. All jokes aside, when TikTok meets reality, that's what it looks like. So, yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, female rapper Coi Leray has been in the headlines for the last week after that happened. That clip went viral the other day, and it's from a performance she was doing out in Houston. As you could see, the crowd wasn't rocking with her performance at all, which that's not really a big deal, but I'll get to that later. The response to this entire thing was like expected. The internet had a field day with it. Some people were saying the crowd was doing the mannequin challenge, and others were saying she was standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. That's kind of funny, no cap. But big deal. So what? That's happened to every single artist at least once. I honestly wasn't thinking too much of it. I mean, I saw it, made a mental observation of it, thought it was interesting to see how an artist who's semi-poppin', especially right now, not getting her flowers in real life. However, the thing that really caught me off guard is Coil Leray's response to this entire thing. Let's go through what she said. First, she put up this tweet and said, "I feel like y'all trying to kill me." She followed that up with saying, "The love used to outweigh the hate, but now the hate outweigh the love and is slowly destroying me. Y'all haters in my life for a reason. We gonna have to deal with each other and with whatever smoke." In between this little rant she had, Nicki actually came through with a little bit of motivation. "Don't do that. Chin up. Always remember this. When black people not fucking with you, they will boo. Those people were on their feet. That means they may not have known the song, but they were interested in getting to know more. So they were observing you. Charge it to the game and move on." Excellent mentality. I don't expect anything else from Nicki. I mean, she's an OG in the game, so she knows exactly how to maneuver through something like this. But that's exactly what Coi should have done. She responded to Nicki's tweet and said, "Thank you so much for this. This means everything and more to me. Wow, I'm speechless. You just gave me so much more hope. Thank you again." Last but not least, Polo G actually replied to her and gave some kind words. He said, "That's always how it be when you're first coming up compared to when you really blow up. You really gotta block that shit out and keep going crazy. You got it." I like how two really big artists came out and gave her a little bit of encouragement. That's dope. There's not a whole lot of unity in the female rap space at all. So to have the biggest one coming out, giving a little bit of encouragement, I think it's dope, man. Definitely need more of that. Let's have a little discussion about this though. Coi Leray, a rapper, an artist who started blowing up earlier this year. Some people might recognize her from that relationship she had with Trippie Redd. That was a very public one. Also, she's the daughter of Benzino. You guys know Benzino, Eminem, Benzino, you know who I'm talking about, but Coi Leray is his daughter. Anyway, she started taking off earlier this year with a song called No More Parties that came out in January. Almost a month later, in February, she dropped a remix to that song with Durkio, and things have been going up for her ever since. Wouldn't say that she's really blowed up like that yet. She got a decently poppin' record, which is No More Parties, and that's as of right now the peak of her career. As we speak, the remix with Durk actually has more streams on Spotify than the original. The music video is also doing pretty well on YouTube. Now, Coi Leray and the Walking Dead crowd though, what about that? Well, her song initially popped off on TikTok and that's how she caught a little bit of buzz. She hasn't really managed to get outside of that TikTok bubble though, and that's mainly the biggest problem here as I see it. She may also be a very popular name on social media and have a decently hot record, but the popularity is obviously not visible judging from the dead crowd. It could also be just a wrong venue, you know, the wrong kind of audience showed up. That's something artists gotta be mindful of. What kind of audience is gonna show up to the place that I'm performing in? Also feel like I gotta mention the fact that she was performing a fairly new song. The song she was performing was one titled Attachments, which is by Toronto's finest. Shout out to Pressa. So on top of it being a remix, it's not her own record, and on top of that, like I said, it is a new record. That aside, this is something every single artist goes through at least once, okay? Especially when you're a new artist in the industry like she is. And just because you're popular right now, it doesn't mean that whatever impact you have has cemented itself in either the genre or people in general. That's just not how it works. That's the reality of things. On top of that, like I said earlier, her record started catching heat on TikTok. Nothing wrong with that, right? But the place Coi Leray is currently at is right there. She's a rapper slash artist whose audience mainly came from the audience that's on TikTok. So you're not really hot in the genre per se. You got your base from an outside source, which is TikTok, and the question now is the audience you've accumulated through TikTok the type of audience that would show up to a venue like that? You gotta know your audience, simple, which clearly it looks like she doesn't. And clearly this entire incident was a hit to her ego. Her perception of how hot she actually is was a false perception. She thought she could show up to a venue and perform a song that's not only hers, but a new song for that matter. That's gambling, baby. You can't do that. You gotta give people the meat, pause, and the potatoes. That's what you gotta do. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she did actually perform her biggest song, which is No More Parties. So I guess she did give the crowd the meat and the potatoes. Now, she addressed the controversy on her Instagram Live by saying this though.
All I gotta say is like, being viral, being the most viral person in the world is like, it's a lot of pressure, you know? Because a lot of people expect so much from you. Like, it's like, or just even being an artist in general. Like, people just expect so much from you. It's like, I don't know it. But it's like, all I could say is, there's nothing I could fucking do about it, you know? Like, it's not like, and what I mean by that is like, people gonna talk, there's gonna be haters.
Like I said, this happens to every single artist. I saw this really old clip of Eminem getting booed off stage one time early on in his career. If you're letting one little negative experience, one quote-unquote L, which isn't really an L by the way, if you're letting that have this kind of effect on you, what happens when you go to another show and that happens, and another show, and another show? Everyone isn't gonna rock with you, that's the thing. I think Coi Leray just has to get comfortable with not taking the comments to heart. I mean, it's cool to care because she is human after all, but don't let the internet know that. That's the kind of frustration you let out in private, okay? To your homegirls, not out to the internet, because the same second you show the internet that you care, and that's the same second they'll try to bury you. And just realize that you're not as hot, okay, not as popular, not as influential as you think you are, which is cool. You're in a very particular lane, you derive from that whole TikTok wave, and you obviously have to break out of that box before you move on to bigger and better things. And as long as you keep on putting in work, it's gonna happen, no question, but it all depends on you, okay? If you can keep on pushing, are you really gonna let one of these dead crowds stop you from working? I mean, come on. By the way, I think all aspiring artists should look at this and learn from it. This is how you do not handle getting a bad reaction or none at all from a crowd. At the end of the day, there probably were people in that audience who showed up for Coi Leray, but they're just not visible in that big ass stadium. And don't get discouraged because you fall to the ground and scrape your knee. That's what comes with being in this business. You're gonna have a lot of ups and downs, and to be fair, the other obstacles you're gonna face in the music industry are gonna be a million times more worse than this. So brace yourself and get it. But yeah, when TikTok meets reality featuring Coi Leray, any thoughts on this entire incident? The crowd was on zombie mode, and social media had a couple things to say about it, and so did Coi Leray. What do you think about this though? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.